Hey guys, Mode47 here, another video for another platinum, this time a game called The Messenger, a really underrated and hidden gem of a 2D platformer. It starts out linear enough, but if you're a fan of Metroidvania, 2D pixel art, chiptune music, I think you're really gonna love this game. A little self-reflection there. That intro, of course, being from the legendary Ninja Gaiden, released on the original Nintendo from 1989. I've always admired how cinematic that intro was, and it always stuck with me. So Ninja Gaiden is the obvious inspiration here, but the Messenger carves out a massive identity for itself with just about everything in the game. It's a much more modernised take on the classic, but obviously trophies are included. Now PSN Profiles has this at a 4 out of 10 and 18 hours to complete. I agree with the time, but I myself struggled with some of the harder platformer segments, especially for the collectibles, yet alone the story parts. I would say it's skill dependent, maybe coming in at a 5 or 6 out of 10 for some people. Taking control of the messenger, you're tasked to carry a message to the glacial peak to deliver a scroll to an order, a mysterious group of beings who protect the world. It's a pretty cool story hook, and I was always interested in seeing where it was going. It helped immensely that the writing in this is hilarious, like all the NPCs have so much to say, so much personality, it's really funny. The first linear half of the game will give you no trouble gameplay wise, it's very enjoyable. You're just going from left to right, navigating the level, defeating enemies, leveling up your abilities. Some cool bosses, entering new areas. A lot of trophies are going to come naturally in this part, and eventually you'll reach the glacial peak, seemingly the last level. However, it is not the last level, and this is where it gets really interesting as the game suddenly becomes a Metroidvania. The main quest turns into gathering several items in new hidden areas which you can tackle in a non-linear fashion. You access these new areas with your brand new power, and the game's main gimmick, time traveling. Now visually, this turns your character from 8-bit into 16-bit, and the music with it. It looks and sounds so awesome and stylish, it never got old for me. Gameplay wise, this works like two maps over each other, coexisting, a present world and a future world. A lot of combat, navigation, puzzles, they all revolve around this, especially the collectibles you'll be needing for the platinum. There's one of the portals coming up in this segment, so you'll see the graphics change and the music sound different. These music notes are what you need to progress the story in the second half of the game. There's a few trophies attached to this, as well as repairing a bridge by finding some cute little dudes, and they're called Phobikins. Again, this is all mandatory and will unlock a few unmissable trophies. Now the real challenge of the platinum, in my opinion, are the collectibles along the way. Thankfully, by upgrading the skill tree enough, you're able to find the power seal rooms on the map. So there are 45 to find in total, with the majority being accessible in the second half of the game. Each power seal will have a puzzle or trap room to navigate. Some of these are tough and need several goes until you work it out. You've got to nail the timing of whatever challenge is in front of you. They're really satisfying though, and to find and to earn, and definitely were the toughest part of Platinum. You start off with a bronze for earning the first one, and end up with a gold for getting them all. This one was a real bugger. Bottom, cool, okay. Yep, got it. Perfect. Nope. Okay, maybe getting hit is part of it? Nope. Nope, now we're just going down to the bottom. Okay, yeah, right. I don't know how I did that, to be honest. What in the world is going on here? Am I going to have to hit every single one? Oh, alright, I can't even hit the first one. How am I going to hit any of the others? Jesus. Okay, got it. Probably shouldn't jump to the right though. 1. Damn it. 2. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, right. I had that. 2 other trophies worth noting. I swear it's my first time. This tasks you with having to find your way around a pitch black area. You can only see your character and the hit effects of climbing around. This cave is filled with pitfalls and spikes and all sorts of things that are going to kill you. Even the trophy name acknowledges that you can't really do this without a guide. Normally you'd have an item you'd find that provides a circle of light. Using that item negates this trophy, so this is actually missable. But with a lot of trial and error, and maybe a couple of guides up like I did, this trophy becomes bearable. Although it did take me a fair amount of attempts. The second trophy I wanted to talk about is a small no-death run of sorts. It's called No Argument Here. This tasks you with getting to a boss called the Queen of Quills with 0 deaths. In fact, you have to beat her also. I did this in New Game Plus, so I had access to all my upgraded weaponry and skills. It made it a bit easier. It was still challenging as you'll have to fight several bosses along the way, and if you don't know their attack patterns and the general gist of the battles, they're going to give you a hard time. The final trophy I needed for the Platinum wasn't very epic, but rather a missable conversation. This might be the worst Platinum clip I've captured, to be honest, but here it is anyway. Not long after getting to the Glacial Peak, the shopkeeper will ask you to open the wardrobe. I just left him and opened the wardrobe, you know, as you probably would, because that's what he asked you to do. Instead, the trophy wants you to exhaust his dialogue and here go on a monologue for about 5 minutes. It really is that long. And then you'll earn this missable trophy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Oh wait, bonus segment, free DLC. This Platinum was so good I wanted to do the added DLC straight away, and man, I was glad I did. It's pretty different from the main campaign. It's a lot more zany, especially the boss fights. I mean, it opens with you surfing with the Necromancer on his, whatever the hell that is, his ship, killing an octopus whilst jumping over rocks and shit. It's sick. So there's only 2 DLC trophies, one to find all the collectibles, and there aren't as many as there were in the main game, but the whole DLC is, you know, not very long whatsoever. It's a nice real bite-sized amount to do after the main campaign. And then the second trophy is just to finish the DLC, which will come quite naturally, I'm sure. I really enjoyed this Platinum in general. The trophies were straightforward with the right amount of challenge with the platforming and the collectibles. It was just really cool. What a great game. I can't wait for their next release, which is in August. And it's an RPG called Sea of Stars. They've got the Chrono Trigger kind of composer, and it just looks like a real throwback to that era of RPGs. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it, if not buying it day one. I'm going to leave you guys with one of my favourite boss fights. It just exemplifies everything The Messenger is about, I think. Cool music, great platforming, boss patterns to learn. Hopefully, if nothing else, this might convince you to try the game out. Alright guys, thanks for watching for real this time, and I'll catch you next time.